Hello everyone, welcome back to the wilderness. We have been driving around now for a little while to find a plot or a space that we can start to work on and clear, because I've been thinking actually there's something quite nice about being out here and having nothing and building ourselves up from nothing, away from all the hassles and everything that we've had before. So we're going to stay here for a while. We don't feel abandoned in the middle of nowhere now. We're going to try and turn this into something like home. Now, I was looking around here. I wanted somewhere flat. I was looking around here. These trees are a little small. I don't want to be cutting those down straight away. But I kind of thought here looked quite nice, a nice junction. This leads down to the sell point at the bottom of the hill where we were selling our wood in the last episode. Got a dirt track up into some of the higher woods as well. These big trees are going to be hard to handle as well, so I kind of thought this little area here looks like it's got a lot of potential. The land is relatively flat. The trees, although big, aren't so big that we won't struggle to handle them on our own. Obviously, I'd like to think we're going to expand our equipment as time goes on. How? I don't know yet, but we'll work out a way of doing that, and then we will take things from there. But to start with, we're going to have to clear a little bit of area and start building up some fields. I'm not sure what the ground is like underneath here, but I'm sure it's going to be, if it's growing these trees, it should not have much of a problem growing some crops. Now, I did think about this side, but again, we're into some of the bigger trees here, and I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to spend the whole series cutting down trees either. I would rather just do it as and when I need to and take things from there. So we'll just see how we get on, shall we? Hang on a minute. What's that? Wait a minute. Looks like a push-along tractor. Looks like a old Holder. Wonder if that will start. That is interesting. Wow. What a find. That will definitely help us get started. There's nothing to seed with or anything like that, but maybe there's something in that. We'll give it a go in a little while. First and foremost, though, I think I'm going to have to cut down a few trees to get us started. I might go slightly inward here, take out these ones at the edge, and start from there. Okay, we could be here a while. I'm not sure how I'm going to move some of these around as well. I think I need to sell enough to be able to buy a small loader or something like that will help us get them onto the truck there. But in the interim, we might have to cut them down small enough like we did in the last episode so we can move them by hand. But we'll see how we get on. There we go. Let's... For starters, I'm just going to go around and cut down as many of these as I can. We'll have to take the axe to the stumps as well, because we need to get rid of those. They will take a bit of time to work through, but there we go. This axe is a super axe. But let's cut some of these down, and we will see you shortly. Right, there we go. We've cut out a bit of an area. There's a few more in there I maybe need to trim down, and maybe another one right on the edge here. In fact, I'll do that right now. Just get rid of this so we've got a good entrance. And we need to get in here, strip these trees now, and get them chopped into piles. It's a shame I can't, like, move them around. I might see if there's any way that we can move them around with the truck, but I'm not holding out much. I'm going to move this one. And then we've got enough just to get our bearings. We're going to have to move these to the side or something. I don't know. We're going to have to sell some. I'm sure we can get hold of an old loader, but going to have some money for it first. So, let's strip these down and make a plan from there. We're going to have to run up each one like this, chopping the branches off. And then after that, we're going to have to cut them all to length so that we can move them with the truck and hopefully sell a few. It is going to take a while, so we're going to push on and get through all of these, and then we'll see you again. Right, we are stripping down. I think this is the last tree. We'll know once we've got it done. But we've stripped all the branches off all of these trees. Croy, we cut down a lot, actually. And actually, cutting down a lot has left us it's not a huge space either, is it? I've seen bigger spaces than this. So the trees are quite dense. I'm going to hope that we can shift these. I'll do a little bit of a test now on the length of a log that we can carry. The pine, so it's a little bit lighter than maybe. Yeah, just about lift that. So that gives us a gauge for the size we can cut to, maybe. So we just need to cut a load of these down now and get them sold. I had a suggestion after the last video that we just leave money. If we find equipment, we just leave money somewhere until somebody comes along, and hopefully that'll work. Otherwise, there is a shop down at one of the yards. I'm sure we could request stuff to be brought up to us if we have the money for it, so we'll make a plan from there. But let's try and get some of this chopped up now. Try and get it stacked as well, because this is going to be our bread and butter to start with anyway, until we can open it up for some farming. But this is hard physical labour. We will push on, we'll get this done, and then we will come back in a little while. Right, I have got here 3 logs. Basically it's 4 trees I've piled up. 2 there, and 2 piled up together here. I'm going to try and get these on the truck. The only way I'm going to get through the rest of these trees at any kind of pace is if we've got a little wheel loader or a skid steer or something like that. So I'm going to get these loaded up by hand, but then we need to get some efficiencies going with a skid steer. So I've spotted one down at the yards that I could use, I've decided. So with that in mind, we're going to kind of load this up as quickly as we can, get down to the yard, sell it, see how much money it brings us, and then see if we can afford this skid steer. Right, last log on there. Now, there is obviously space for more on the truck, but just at the moment, I'm keen to see how much this is worth and how much more we need. Let me just get this turned around, and we will head, hopefully, down the hill. If I've remembered my bearings, I think we do a left here and head down to the yard. So let's head down there. It's quite a steep hill. I wouldn't like to come up this hill with a load. I'm not sure how much power is in this engine, but it's definitely easier to go down it full and back up empty. So let's get down to the bottom. Let's see what we make from this, and that'll tell us how many more manual loads we need to do before throwing a little bit of machinery at it. So again, you'll see the reason why I decided to go with this location, because just along here is where the buildings are. So we should be able to get in and get this sold pretty quickly. We'll just pull up the HUD there. You can see 2018 dollars we have already. That was from selling that one tree last time as a test. So let's see what happens if we sell this one. So straps off. There it goes. I had to step back a little bit. Okay, another $2,000. So let me show you what I'm looking for. I have found this old John Deere skid steer. I think it might do the job very, very well. It's 7,900, so we're a little bit away from it just yet. But I would love to be able to get a hold of that. That would make a huge amount of difference for when we're shifting logs around. Even if we don't sell the logs, we can move them around and make space and cut space for more fields and space to do other stuff. So I'm really keen to get this. That's a bit frustrating that wasn't worth more, that 4 trees there. But we know what we're targeting now, so I think it's just a case of pushing on and getting it done as quickly as possible. Right, let's jump in. We're there, 4,000 there, so let's maybe grab another. We'll try and fill it right up this time. There's space on the end for more, so we'll just try and get as much on as possible in the next load and see how we get on with that. Right, here we are. Let's get cutting, unloading. Well, you know the drill now, so we'll push on and we'll come back to you when we have got a loaded up truck. Just before we jump off and get stuck into it, you can see here that actually that log there, I can pick up this one due to the weight of it. And this is why I went for slightly smaller trees. Due to the weight of it, I can't with that one, so I'm going to have to cut that one in half before I lift it. There we go. Gives us permission to lift it now. So we're going to try and push the maximum length as possible, because I think we know that to a point longer logs are worth more. So if we can carry them, we'll try and get them as long as possible. If we can't, so be it. Right. We will push on now. Right, we've been going for a while now. We're about halfway there. I genuinely think, and maybe it was when Platinum came out, compared to FS19, you can carry a lot more wood. He says as he makes one too long. You can carry a much bigger amount of wood. Look at that. There's no way, I remember when I did Bull's Gap in 19, there's no way you'd be able to carry that kind of size of log without super strength. So, interesting. Not that I'm complaining, it's making the job a bit easier here. But, I suppose if you're strong, you could carry a log like that. If you had, if you'd done a bit of working out. But, I'm kind of pleased, actually. There we go. Depends on what type of wood it is, I guess. Right. Just thought I'd check in and share that with you. We'll keep going. Look at that, I mean, that's obviously diameter-wise not as big, but it's a big piece of wood, that, isn't it? They're fitting nicely on the trailer too, which is nice. It's not going to look like a complete mess, the load. We do have a few blocks like this where we've cut something and it's been too heavy, so we've had to trim it down, but general, doing all right. Right, that was it. We'll come back in a bit. Right, we have got maybe a couple more to go on here. We could probably fit a lot more on, actually, but again, I'm keen to know how much this will be with the lengths being longer. So I think I'm going to run it down after we've done this log here and just see again. In fact, we could fit loads more on there, but I also don't want to keep doing this manually for any longer than I have to, so if we can hit the numbers we need with these, that would be awesome. So, let's see. Right, here we are back. I'm interested to see the slightly longer lengths, if that'll have a big impact on the numbers. Hopefully. Hopefully it will. We shall see. There we go. Straps off. And we're over here to the trigger, which is somewhere around here again. A little bit further back than I was before. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 8. So 7,900 for that little skid steer. And we're on 7,495 already. Okay. Right. Let's go. Right, let's reverse up a little bit closer to some of these trees now. We're literally going to strip most of them before we've got the machine up here. But it's going to be good. I am excited about getting our first piece of equipment. For sure. Right, we are going for maybe one more tree. Like I said, we don't need much. I don't want to use more than I have to, so we are just going for it with what we need. And we've got some chopped up bits here as well. Ready, so this will do nicely. And if there's any money left over, I'm going to ditch the axe for a chainsaw, I think. Like a proper chainsaw, and then we can really go for it. So, let's get the last ones on here. Let's get back down to the sell point yet again. And I'm thinking, third time lucky. We shall see. Nope, that is not cut. Let's take a bit of it though, shall we? Guesswork, let's say, about there. Nope, typical. There we go. Oh, there we go. I'm going to take this little notch that we had to chop off at the end there, because that could be the difference. Right. Here we go. Fingers crossed. That is enough. Right. Let's see how we get on here. Please be enough. Please be enough. Please be enough. Oh, I maybe took the straps off a tad too early there, but managed to get away with it without anything spilling out. Come on, let's do this. Sold. Right, 9,133 in the bank. I'm totally buying that little skid steer. Let's get it done. There we go. There it is. John Deere or New Holland. I've got the choice of two. I'm going to go for this one though. Looks good. 7,900. Let's get that bought. Now that leaves us 1,035 in the account, and the reason that that is good is because I want to get a tool that was so good in FS19 that I want to use it again. And it was for this. So let's get this, and I'll show you why, hopefully, when we get back up to the yard. Now, doesn't leave me enough for a chainsaw, but we might have to get that the next time we are down. There it is. Oh, how good is that? That looks fantastic. Now, I was slightly concerned about the height on this, but that looks like it could be pretty good. I was worried about it lifting over the sides of the truck, but that's going to do that with space to spare galore. So, that's awesome. Now the only challenge is getting this up to our little area. Well, I think we probably just have to head off and get it up there, don't we? And then we'll have to walk back for the truck. So, we'll wander up and we'll see you there. Right, here we are. Now I want to do a test before we go and get the truck. I'm just going to do a little test because it may be this doesn't work like it did in 19 and I have just spent money on something that is no use to me. But let's find out. I'm very pleased to say it does. Even though it's huge, I can just lift the end there and slide it forward. That's good. I mean, my rear wheel's off the ground, but for something like that, that's not so bad. So, let's see what we can do here with some of these. Oh, this is perfect. And there we go. We can get this lined up over here. Something like that. Take the strap off. And we'll roll around here. And with it on the floor, we'll be able to push it forward. He says confidently. There you go. Now we probably need to push it in the middle a bit, sitting on a high point on the ground. Typically, this is going to be fun when we plough it because it's very lumpy and bumpy. I might have to knock some of those lumps and bumps out as we go. There we go. It's finding the sweet point. We'll get it. There it is. That's not bad. I'll butt it up with all the others. You can see they're still wrapped around trees a little bit, but it's not bad. Right. Time for some more cutting. Suppose we could go and get the truck first. I love this thing already. Right, here we are back with the truck. Just try not to run over too many logs. Right, we're all lined up. Let's get some work done. So, my plan as before is to cut these 2 6-metre lengths. We will do this and then we'll hopefully pick them up and stack them before lifting them onto the truck. So, I'm going to go along and I'm going to cut all these up and then I will see you back here in our little skid steer and we will try and load them onto the truck from there. So, back shortly. Right, I've cut all of these now into 6-metre lengths. Now I kind of hope I should be able to pick them up maybe 1 or 2 at a time now and move them about a little bit more, get them into neater piles and then get them on the truck at the end. I do want to make sure they're kind of stacked up properly before I put them on the truck so we don't have any stuff falling off the back, but even if I move them around like so and we'll tidy them up at the end, that will work for me. So, there we go. There's 2. Let's keep going, I guess. Okay, last log here. Now I'm slightly worried. Well, there's a tree there that I haven't cut down yet, but I'm slightly worried that that first pile I've got there might be just a little bit too big, and I'll just go over and give it a test right now. We're also going to just nudge a few of them together to make sure the pile's a little bit neater, like this one here. We'll just give them all a little push in the right direction, like so. try and tidy them up as much as we can. Might miss a few, but oops. That didn't go to plan. Let's try again. There we go. And maybe one more for good luck. Okay, that worked. That worked better than I thought. I just need to push this little one round here, which is being a little bit frustrating. And once they're all lined up... I see the problem here. We're on that little ridge on the ground there. Okay, we're lifting up over it now. Let's go again. That is a nice pile of logs, but you watch. I want to pick this up. There's no way with this little wheel loader that is going to work as I suspected. Far too heavy. So, I think if I roll backwards slightly though, even that's too heavy. We might have to split these up a bit. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. We just have to roll back far enough. Well, maybe not. Optimistic on my part. Actually, if I roll them closer to... keep it low... This problem is this lump in the ground here is killing me. Let me just get that out of the way if I can. We want to keep the logs from being too far out in front of us. Right, let's see if we can get these over to the truck. Loaded. And then we can have a go with a few more of them. But... well, they're quite long, aren't they? At 6 meters as well. They're going to hang off the back of the truck a fair bit. We are on the limit of balance here. So we don't want to drop them in the wrong place. Right. Oh, just. Okay, this could get messy. Leave it with me. We will be back. Right, there we go. Just tidying that up slightly. Now, I get we could get more on here, but I'm very conscious this episode is running on a lot longer than I was expecting it to. So we have cleared ourselves a little bit of space. I actually think we could do with clearing a little bit more before we start to plough our first area of field. So we may come back in the next episode, just do a little bit of that at the start. I always thought it would take a little bit of time to get this sorted in the first couple of episodes, but that looks like a rather nice load of logs. Like I said, we could get this fuller, but we're not going to bother now. Also 6 meters, I'm pushing it maybe a little bit with 6 meters. We might go down to 5 from now on. I know it's not maybe as completely lucrative, but it does mean we can get them on the truck a little bit easier. But for our last hurrah today, let's run these down to the shop, see how much money we're going to make from them, and treat ourselves to that chainsaw. And then all systems go for the next episode. Okay, wish us luck. Let's see how we get on. So what was our maximum so far? I think we've done about 3,500. 3,400 was our biggest load to date. So let's see just the difference in the length of the logs. Even though it's not a full trailer load, let's see the difference in logs and what it makes. Are we ready? Oops, if I turn the HUD on. There we go, 5,748 just for that half a load. That's 6 meters. That's insane amounts of money. Goodness me. Right. Chainsaw. Right, they're all much muchness. I love the Husqvarna stuff though, so there we go. Got it. And at the same time, farewell, Mr. Axe, you did us proud, but we've moved up in the world. Goodbye. Right, job done. That is us well on the way to setting up how we want to for the future. So, on that note, thank you very much for watching. Stick with me on this one. I think this could turn into a whole heap of fun. But for now, from me, the FarmSim guy, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.